These photos absolutely destroy Billy's case. He is done. There is no more doubt Billy will lose his lawsuit. These photos do more damage than anything that has come before them.
What are the
and I'm
photos?
not exaggerating.
Hello, Halfpint here, and I just wanted to say real quick, if you've been enjoying my content, please remember to subscribe to the channel here on YouTube and follow me on Twitch so you can always catch us when we're live and see more content. Also, if you are new here, welcome in, and if you're enjoying the video, please remember to like it because it helps me out a lot. I also post funny clips and other things on TikTok. All the links are in the description below, and thanks again. Now let's get into the video. There's another video about Billy Mitchell, who is the person who holds most of the world records on old classic video games. He allegedly cheated in many, possibly all of these video game records and should not have them. Carl Jobst, or Jobst, I'm not sure of the pronunciation, made a video about it a while back that we looked over. And apparently there is new evidence in this situation that might be the final nail in that coffin to determine that he did actually cheat. So we're going to take a look at that. This is the same individual who was aggressively suing anyone who said anything about his video game records being illegitimate. This is why I'm being careful to use terms like allegedly. And at the end of the day, I don't know, right? So it is technically allegedly from my standpoint. I mean, a lot of these records were, I think, gotten when I was barely alive or not alive. But we're going to take a look at this video and see what's going on here. But I am going to have to also turn on the audio for the video because, you know, I'm a goober. Wow, all of my audio has reset. That is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Okay, so I think I want to set that to you. Nope. This is amazing. Thank you, OBS, for the stable streaming experience. Ain't this about a bitch? Oh!
In 2019, Video Game Player of the Century Billy Mitchell sued Twin Galaxy.
Okay, I don't know why I was having audio issues. I don't know what caused OBS to reset every single audio source ever. But looks like I got it fixed now, at least for this. Probably gonna have to change it more for games. Love that, but what are you gonna do? Let's jump into Billy Mitchell now.
Hello, you absolute legends. In 2019, Video Game Player of the Century Billy Mitchell sued Twin Galaxies for defamation after they removed his high scores from their database and said he didn't achieve them on original hardware. For almost 4 years, this lawsuit has dragged on, and thankfully for everyone involved, it looks like it should be wrapping up and going to trial sometime this year. The crux of Twin Galaxies' defense so far has been centered around 2 videotapes that show Billy's high scores, and it's been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that the gameplay seen on these videotapes cannot come from an original Donkey Kong arcade. Instead, they must have come from an emulator.
How do
Billy
they know
Mitchell
that?
seems to have lied and said he played on an arcade machine.
I mean, there are almost always differences between emulations and games running off cartridges, so I'm guessing it's just like really close. I would be interested to see what the specific analysis of that is, and maybe he went over that in the first video, but that was so long ago.
When he in fact didn't. And this opens up the possibility for cheating in numerous ways. In his lawsuit against Twin Galaxies, Billy claims these videotapes don't matter because he achieved the scores live and he has witnesses. How is it possible that he performed them at a live event in front of hundreds of people if he faked it and actually played on an emulator? The videotapes must be fake or are not his actual gameplay, or should just be ignored because he has real people that say he really did it, and they saw it happen, so it must be legit. As Billy said in his lawsuit, if everyone is lying, it must be a conspiracy akin to that of the Kennedy assassination.
That, or you lied to a bunch of people and conned a bunch of people into being your supporters because you knew what you were doing. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm just saying there are plenty of motives. There are plenty of situations and reasons why a group of people would also be supporting that claim.
But here's the problem. The videotapes were the only tangible evidence these scores ever happened, so that's all anyone had to go off. Aside from the tapes, it was just people saying that it happened, which really doesn't cut it. There was no footage of Billy actually playing. There was nothing to indicate that he was even there or that he played at all. That is, until now. For the first time in 15 years, photos of Billy Mitchell at one of these events where he claims to have achieved one of his world records have surfaced. And I'm not going to beat around the bush. These photos absolutely destroy Billy's case. He is done. There is no more doubt Billy will lose his lawsuit. These photos do more damage than anything that has come before them.
What are the
and I'm
photos?
not exaggerating. Even if you disregard all of the videotape evidence, Billy's world records would still be disqualified and he would still be banned for lying just because of these photos. So how is that even possible?
Why?
Let's find out. I really hope you enjoy. When Twin Galaxies banned Billy Mitchell in 2018, they did so because of videotapes showing two scores. The first is a 1.047 million point score Billy achieved in 2004, known as the King of Kong score. It's called this because this score is featured in the King of Kong documentary. The second is a 1.05 million point score Billy achieved in 2007, which is known as the Mortgage Brokers score. This is because he supposedly achieved it at a mortgage broker's convention. The videotapes for both of these scores show footage that isn't legitimate. This is a fact.
Okay, so this is the arcade version of this level. This is the version he played. This is the arcade version, I think. No, that is the... What's the difference between here? The big breakthrough in Billy Mitchell's case was the evidence package published by Jeremy Young on February 2nd, 2018. This presentation was a result of research into ways in which MAME and arcade draw boards level screens differently, resulting in what became known as the MAME signatures. These signatures were identifiers which could never be produced by original Donkey Kong hardware. Gotcha. Gotcha.
And it's why he was banned. But aside from that, there was no other evidence that Billy even played the game, aside from a few people saying it happened. Well, to be completely fair, the King of Kong score actually does have 0 witnesses. It's the Mortgage Broker's score that Billy has a few witnesses for. And it's this Mortgage Broker's score that we now have photos for. So let's take a deeper look into this. Of course, as the tape shows the score wasn't done on an original arcade, we'd assume he didn't actually get the score at the event. But for a moment, let's forget all about the videotape and humor Billy's argument that the tapes don't matter.
Okay.
In his lawsuit against Twin Galaxies, Billy submitted 5 witness statements saying they were at the event when the score happened. 2 of these statements are from people who worked at the convention. They just say they were there when it happened, but they don't say they actually saw him get it. And they aren't even Donkey Kong players, so they have no idea what's going on anyway.
Jesus. Yeah, this guy's always been a little weird, little bit of a weirdo. I'll say that much. But if these people aren't even familiar with Donkey Kong, then they, in terms of credibility, have lost all. They cannot be people we trust to say, like, yes, the score is legitimate if they don't even know what the game is supposed to look like. They don't even play the game. What? It's the same reason. Exactly. It's the same reason we don't usually listen to random people when they say stuff about anything. It's just like, well, who are you? You don't know anything. Like,
we all know that Billy likes to lie in public, as he recently showed, so a random person thinking a score happened when it really didn't doesn't mean much.
Yeah.
So we can disregard those 2 statements. This leaves 3 witnesses that say they directly saw him get the world record. The first is from a guy called Richard Mallion. He says he watched Billy's score reach beyond 1 million points and that he saw him achieve his targeted score. Richard is actually a childhood friend of Billy's. In fact, he appeared opposite Billy in the school yearbook. But let's not hold that against him. While it is common for friends to lie for each other, let's not assume that's what happened. Now, when I'm deciding whether or not someone is trustworthy, what I do is create 2 columns. One for yes, I should trust them, and one for no, I should not. Then I put things into each column and weigh them up at the end. So first, I can see that Richard dresses really well. He has a nice suit, and he has a nice watch. No one who dresses this well could lie. So I'm going to put that into the yes column. For
what? What? Oh, what? If this part is a joke,
could lie. So I'm going to put that into
I think you'll find that people in suits do a lot more lying, or maybe just as much lying as anyone else. That is the craziest thing I've ever heard. The guy wears a nice suit and he's got a nice watch, so I don't think he'd lie. You know, seems like a stand-up guy to me. Never heard of white-collar crime.
The yes column. For the no column, there isn't much I found out about Richard that really concerns me, except for this super tiny detail of him pleading guilty to conspiracy, securities fraud, money laundering, and criminal contempt in 1996 after an FBI sting operation. I mean, it's probably nothing, but it would be remiss of me.
I don't know if this guy's committing fraud, but he has committed fraud in the past. But he does wear a suit. What?
If I didn't include it. Back to the yes column, Richard just seems like a super friendly and nice guy. I mean, no one who looks this happy could lie, so this has to go into the yes column. Now,
you've got to be kidding me! Has this guy heard of serial killers? They seem like normal people who are happy. But they're not. They're lying. People can lie. Like, what? His reasons he thinks this guy isn't lying are blowing my mind. They make me want to scream. Oh my god. He seems happy. Happy people don't lie. What are you talking about? Oh, do you know how happy a liar is when they're lying to everyone and it's going well, especially if it's making them money? Like, what? They're stoked. They're thrilled. Oh, God.
Looking at the no column, I'm going to be super nitpicky here and include this other small thing. And look, maybe this is being too judgmental, but I'm going to go ahead and add the fact that he was charged again with fraud in 2019 by the
I don't want to be too mean to the guy, but he's been charged for fraud twice, once within the last 4 years, and I don't know, but he dresses nice and seems happy. What? Dude, he's probably committing fraud. This guy likes fraud.
SEC and had to pay back $750,000. It's probably not even worth bringing up, but again, I just want to be fully transparent. However, I must say that Richard has some really good motivational quotes on his Twitter feed. I mean, look at these quotes. They are truly inspirational, and he puts his name in bigger text than the person who actually said the quote.
Okay, now I feel like he was just joking. Oh, okay. I'm catching on to your humor. He was, I think the pro column was just a joke. Logic will get you far. Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. Albert Einstein.
Right. So when you think about it, who said the quote really?
Oh my, it really does have that Michael Scott energy. Oh my god, that's so freaking funny, dude.
I'm gonna have to put this into the yes column. Now, I should probably leave it there, and at this point, I really am not being fair to Richard, but I'll just add one more thing, and I'll let you decide. In 2021, Richard was unfortunately arrested for conspiracy to commit fraud.
Again.
Look, he has just not been lucky when it comes to fraud. He keeps getting caught. I, for one, do not hold this against him. When I look at this table, I see 3-3. It's pretty even. Personally, I'm leaning towards trusting the guy, but you let me know in the comments what you think. Okay, so Billy's first witness is a bit sketch.
That was a pretty good bit. I mean, it was unfortunately getting me at first. Like, I unironically thought he was like being serious, and I'm a little brain broken. I gotta work on that.
Who's number 2? Billy's second witness that says he saw him get it is Todd Rogers. Oh boy, this is not going well. Okay, hit me with number 3. Surely we're gonna get a winner. The third witness that says they saw Billy get the score is Kim Mahoney, who is also Todd Rogers' girlfriend. I'm going to be completely honest here. I'm getting the impression that Billy's witnesses may not be entirely trustworthy. Anyway, let's take a look at these new photos. Remember, this is the first time we've seen any footage of Billy at this event in 15 years.
I'm trying to understand. I'm looking around and like, is it something about the arcade machine? This looks like a VCR that's probably used to tape what's happening on the screen, some sort of game capture, but like, is it something about that they can tell that this is like not an official arcade game? I don't know enough about Donkey Kong either.
Todd, and Billy's talking to some dude, and that looks like the Donkey Kong cabinet behind Billy. It's got a VCR on top, which is how they recorded the score. It all looks pretty legit so far. There's Billy and Todd posing with a couple of people. There's a camera that was recording Billy play, even though that footage doesn't seem to exist for some reason. Here's Billy and Todd posing again with the thumbs up. Maybe this is just after Billy got the world record. I have to admit, everything here looks pretty legit, and oh my god, what is that?
It's a joystick.
That joystick is not an original Donkey Kong joystick. This arcade machine does not have original, unmodified Donkey Kong arcade hardware. This is an original Donkey Kong stick. It's got a big black ball and a short column. The stick on Billy's arcade is a tall stick with a smaller ball, and it's obviously red, so the stick has been changed to something else. On top of that, it appears to be an 8-way stick. Now, the original Donkey Kong stick is 4-way, which means it can only go up, down, left, and right. But an 8-way stick, like the one you would find on all modern arcades, can also go diagonally. When it comes to Donkey Kong, an 8-way stick fundamentally changes the way the game can be played. If you want to steer barrels while on a ladder, you have to stop and hold left or right, because you can't go up and to the side at the same time. But with an 8-way stick, you can continue to climb ladders while steering barrels by using the diagonals. With an 8-way stick, you can do things you can't do on an original arcade, which is why they are banned. So not only is the stick
Gotcha! So it's literally not the same hardware. I figured it had to be something about the machine. God, that is so minor. But like, if the rules state it's it's original hardware, unmodified, and all that stuff, and that's an 8-way stick, I mean, that does changes everything. That's crazy how much that changes.
Original, which was totally banned, it looks like an 8-way stick, which is extra banned. And not only would Billy's world record still not count because of the modified stick, but Billy would still also be banned for lying about it. And oh boy, did he lie about it. His entire lawsuit against Twin Galaxies is based on the premise that he played on unmodified original arcade hardware, which is categorically not true. Not only from the videotapes, but now from the photos as well. And his lawsuit is full of lies where Billy claims the hardware was unmodified. And not just Billy, the referees who adjudicated the score lied as well. Todd Rogers and his girlfriend Kim Mahoney both say in their sworn statements that Billy played on unmodified hardware. Everyone just got caught out, big time. And it gets even worse, because these photos don't just affect the mortgage broker's score world record, they also affect the King of Kong score as well. This is Robert Childs, who is also a longtime friend of Billy Mitchell. For those with a very good memory, this is the same guy that was in the infamous fake board swap video. He has been lying on behalf of Billy for years. He is part of the con artist clique. Robert Childs runs arcade game sales.
This is so weird. Why did these friends grow up and decide to lie to everyone about their video game stuff? Why? And then they just kept it going forever? That's so cringe. Like, that's crazy, dude. I can't, like, at some point, if my friend came back, like, if we lied about something, right? Like, if me and my friend lied about him setting a record, that would already have gotten out of hand. Like, but let's just say we were, like, lying together, and they somehow ended up winning some competition. Really hope it's not tied to any charity or anything, otherwise I'm evil. Like, wow, evil. But regardless, if they were to approach me again later and be like, hey, remember how we did all that lying and that crazy thing happened? Well, I need you to lie again for me for a little bit. I'd be like, get the hell out of here, dude. Like, no way, that sucked. Also, like, no, like, I don't want to do that again or for longer. Absolutely not. How come every time I talk, I start to get like the freaking hiccups?
Which is an arcade retailer in Florida. Arcade game sales is important because this is where Billy claims he achieved the King of Kong world record, on an arcade cabinet provided by Robert Childs. Now, as part of his case, Billy Mitchell also submitted a sworn statement from Robert Childs, and Robert states in 2003 he helped Billy by providing an arcade machine. He swore that this was an original Donkey Kong arcade machine.
Oh.
He says the same machine was used when Billy got his King of Kong score in 2004, and says the same machine was used again in 2007 at the Mortgage Brokers Convention.
And there it is.
This means that not only
Damn! Oh, that invalidates every record he's ever made on that thing. Oh, man. Oh, man. They're all tied in. Oh, that's crazy. Why is he shaking his own friend's hand after he got the world record? And why is his friend dressed up like a referee? I feel like he wasn't actually a referee.
is the Mortgage Broker's score disqualified because it was a modified machine, but because Robert Childs
looks like a
swears
McDonald's
it was the
worker.
same machine used in 2004, the King of Kong score is disqualified as well. Billy Mitchell, Todd Rogers, Kim Mahoney, and Robert Childs were all lying about the arcade machine that was supposedly used, and now it's proven. You may be wondering why Billy would lie about something that can so obviously be disproven, and the answer is that Billy didn't know these photos existed. In fact, the entire Donkey Kong community didn't know these photos existed.
What?
They were only made public recently.
He posed for the photos. How did he not know the photos existed? He's like giving the thumbs up to the camera. What do you mean he didn't know they existed? Like he thought they had like been lost to time? Like
and not by Billy Mitchell. These photos were never made public, and they were only retrieved now by directly contacting the organizers of the convention, which luckily still had them. I cannot stress enough how damning these photos are. Even if you were to disregard every single thing that has ever been said about Billy being a cheater up until this point, based solely on these photos, Billy would still lose his lawsuit against Twin Galaxies. His records would still be removed, and he would still be banned, because these photos show his records are not legitimate. I cannot wait until this goes to trial, and you best believe that when it does, I'm going to cover it. I'm excited, and I think you should be too, because this is going to be a lot of fun. As always, thank you so much for watching, you legends. I hope you are having a fantastic—
That's absolutely crazy. What a little weirdo friend group, dude. I can't believe, yeah, like I just can't get over the idea of three friends deciding to lie for their entire lives about Donkey Kong. Like, what? Oh, just that's some good old cringe right there. That is some good old cringe. He's definitely going to lose that lawsuit. I hope Carl makes more videos about this in the future. I want to keep following this, but I am certainly not going to take the steps to like search out content for it. I remember when G4 did a whole coverage of DK Records live in one of E3's a long time ago. Was he featured in it? Do you remember if like they talked about Billy Mitchell in that? He was definitely a big part of it. Holy crap. That's so wild, dude. I wonder what that's going to mean for like Donkey Kong Records. Like, does it just automatically go to second place, or do they do a whole thing where they're like, all right, let's throw another big tournament thing, and obviously fuck that Billy Mitchell guy, he's not going to be a part of it. Maybe like the Billy's Gone tournament, you know, and it'll be called the Billy's Gone score. That'd be cool. And like, yeah, everyone just competes again. They figure out who the actual best player is. It'd be rad. GDQ should do that. GDQ should step in and like make Donkey Kong Records like a legitimate space again. Thanks for watching, guys. Follow me on Twitch to join us live, like and subscribe, and I will catch you later.